everybody, my name is Starrapter. Welcome to my review for Star Wars The High Republic Haunted Starlight. This is an Audible Original Audiobook from Audible, and this is written by George Mann, and it's narrated by Haberkorn and performed by Haberkorn. So if you're not familiar with this sort of thing, this is a continuation of Seeds of Starlight, which is also another Phase 3 short story. So this is really a sequel, or a part 2, if you will, to that, because we still are following our main titular characters, the younglings, Kildo and Tep Tep, as well as Padawan Cam, along with the Master Buyer. So they're on Eiram, and the Drengir in the previous Seeds of Starlight have emerged, and that was the big issue, is they are assaulting this city on Eiram, Barama City, and now we're getting to see the ramifications of that, because in the last part of Seeds of Starlight, we got the acknowledgement that the Great Progenitor is alive, and the Great Progenitor is like the hive mind central for the Drengir, which are this plant-like species, carnivorous, that just crave meat and want to kill, and they're basically steeped in dark side force power, or dark side aura, if you will. So this story is really a continuation of that. We have the reemergence of the Drengir kind of tentacles all throughout this city on Eiram, and it's up to these people to find out, the Jedi, to find out exactly what's going on. Is the Great Progenitor alive? They go down to the depths of Starlight Beacon there in Eiram Sea and find out, yes, the Great Progenitor is in fact alive. So it's another big battle, and we also have another kid, and this character is Saxel. He was once part of the Hurricanes, which were a pro-Nile group, and in Seeds of Starlight, we did find out that they ended up, basically defecting from the Nile and helped out the Republic with securing the city. So once again, the city is in danger. The Drengir have arrived, and that is where this story takes us, figuring out what the Drengir are actually doing there. What is their grand plan, and how do they all get out of this alive? So that's the crux of the story here. Getting into what I liked about it is I really do enjoy the lightsaber effects. I enjoy the overall scope of the story. It is rather simple for the most part. You're not going to get huge character arcs with all of our characters in this, but I don't think it's to be expected for this. This is a nice, fun adventure story set in the High Republic that does have a focusing lens on the Drengir part, which I personally love, because this is a really cool new creation for Star Wars lore that we got for Phase 1 of the High Republic. It's great to see them back for Phase 3. So we get to see a lot of good stuff there. I think the big lesson for the young listeners out there, the theme of the story is, hey, think things through. You know, your greatest enemy might be your ally at some point, if you just happen to be open to what their thoughts are. And making compromises is always something that life throws our way to get things passed and get things progressing and moving forward. So I definitely enjoyed that aspect of things. But yes, it's just great to get these sort of stories. I like the idea that this is a 4.5 hour little story they listen to in one day's time, to be able to absorb this in a different way than just reading it. So this is cool. I really enjoyed this. Again, I think some of the voices, I got to give props to Haberkorn for attempting to do Tep Tep's voice. And if you aren't familiar, that is a youngling female character. But it's like, it's a little bit much for me as far as the impersonation. It's a little high pitched. That's all. I'll leave it at that. But other than that, I got to give him props for going there and doing that, and giving us some really cool voices along the way as well. I feel like the Great Progenitor almost sounds like Venom, like, we are Venom, that kind of vibe, which is cool. I mean, it makes sense. They're basically like Venom in a symbiote way, where they're just going to transfer their bodies and their minds to other people and all that sort of thing. But yeah, it definitely leaves off with a huge cliffhanger. I don't know if it's cliffhanger, but a mic drop moment at the end of the story for sure. And by the end of this, I'm looking forward to seeing how this will factor into the rest of the High Republic, to the conclusion, or maybe beyond the conclusion of the High Republic. I can see that mic drop moment maybe going into a new story past the High Republic. Heck, maybe even popping up later on in the timeline of the original trilogy. Who knows? But George Mann, this is his wheelhouse. This is a little bit horror, as you would expect, with something being called haunted in its title. So there you go. There you go. That's going to do it for my review for Star Wars Haunted Starlight. Let me know what you thought about it. Let me know if you plan on picking this up in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars The High Republic, you're already in the right place. I've talked about every single High Republic thing I basically think that got released since 2021. So go ahead and check out my content if you haven't missed it. There's an entire playlist of the High Republic here. But I do appreciate you guys listening / watching on the channel for all this content. I do watch and look at the comments, so that much I appreciate. And please feel free to leave one and subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always for light and life.